Today we're in Moorhead, Minnesota with Austin Majerus, and we're going to talk about motor graders, particularly servicing and taking care of your motor grader. Austin, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Tell us what we got here.
So this is a 772 motor grader, fresh out from the factory line. We're just doing a once over on it.
Let's talk about if it was coming in for its annual inspection. What would you be looking at on a motor grader?
Check for these cylinders here, make sure all your cylinders aren't leaking. And then there's a lot of bushings in here on your blade. Make sure those are all tight and don't have any play. In here there's wear strips and stuff. Make sure these aren't worn out. Leaks, make sure all the lights work. Windshield washer, fluid.
So you'd run all the codes, then you would kind of check for what we call slop in the blade area.
Yeah.
772, the 2 means it's the front wheel drive. And this one has the fenders on it and also has the snow lights. I mean, really nice machine. Is there anything in the front that you'd be looking at it at the annual inspection?
In the front, we got the whole motor assembly here. There's lots of hoses. There's probably about 4 hoses in that bundle.
Okay.
So we'll check and make sure none of them are leaking. Any collection of oil. We'll pop out these side covers here, check for the hoses in there, make sure those aren't leaking. So this right here, this is a front hitch for a V-plow. So a lot of counties or townships, they'll have a big old V-plow that hangs off the side of this, and then just like a regular snow plow. And on the side here, this is a Falls wing.
The Falls snowing, Falls is the manufacturer. We represent those. Let's go back to the back. Can you open that engine compartment up for us?
We got all our filters. Got your hydraulic, axle, front wheel drive, and your differential all in here. It's your main group here. And then back there on the engine itself, you got your oil filter and your 2 fuel filters there. So this is a brand new machine. We try to write the hours on all our filters when we change them.
You're using a flashlight, but there's actually a light built into the compartment there.
There's trouble light.
And use that. Now we keep going around to the back.
Yeah.
We're going to see we have a ripper back here, and that ripper is connected to the wing. You could also pull the wing off and use the ripper if you needed to.
The wing comes off relatively easy, just heavy. You can still use the ripper with that wing attached.
Then we get around over here. So if you were doing a full walk around, all these doors would be open. You would have the machine running to operating temperature. You'd be raising everything. You'd be looking for leaks.
Oh yeah, no, we'd drop this down. This back cover here swings open, opens up your whole cooling packages here. Check, make sure those aren't clogged full of dirt. They plug up pretty easy. On here you can see that our hydraulic level is a little low since we have all our attachments raised up, but to check that, we usually lower all our attachments to the ground and then check level that way. Give
me 3 or 4 things that you think are very important why you should do an annual inspection.
Less downtime, less downtime means less lost profit. Last thing you want is one of these machines sitting on the side of the road. It's really important for me anyway to see them come in, at least get looked at and help us reduce that risk. $100 bushing can turn into a $1,000 rod real quick.
You've seen time and time where somebody didn't and it cost them a lot of money. All right, Austin, thank you very much.
Yeah, no
Very
problem.
informative, appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Hey, I'm Dennis Howard. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like and subscribe and follow us on social media. See you soon.